YouTube, welcome back to my channel and a very happy new year to all of you. Let's hope 2018 is a safe, happy, healthy year for us all. I haven't spoken to you for over a month. I'm really sorry about that. I had all sorts of great plans for December and daily videos, but a variety of problems got in the way. Mostly technical problems. I just was having real difficulties uploading. The solution was actually quite simple in the end, but it took me a long time to work it out. But hopefully I'm not going to have those technical problems again with this new iPad, which seems much more straightforward to use. So I thought I'd begin the new year showing a brand new collection that I bought from just on Friday, 2 days ago. It's the Chanel Spring 2018, Spring-Summer I think, collection. I believe it is called Neapolis, and it's kind of themed around a colour palette that's supposed to make us think of Naples in Italy, or the kind of Sorrento peninsula as a whole. It's designed as ever these days by Lucia Pica, who I think goes for much more extravagant and interesting colour combinations, and this is no exception. It's a very colourful collection. Pretty much all the colours are there. I think maybe too much has been thrown at it, but then equally you might say there's something for everyone. So I'm just going to show you in this video what I picked. It's a large collection. I say straight from the off that I know a lot of you who have seen the photographs will be interested in the lip glosses, the Glossomers, and particularly there is a very unusual blue shade one in the collection of, I believe, 4 Glossomers. I did look very briefly. I don't really wear lip gloss, or very, very rarely. Even with my enormous makeup collection, I have literally probably about 4 glosses. So I knew I wasn't going to buy. I did swatch on the back of my hand the famous blue, and it was fairly transparent, I have to say. It just had a kind of grey sheen on the back of my hand. But of course that's not necessarily how it's going to look on the lips. But obviously, you know, you need to go and have a look at it in person. I bought, as you can see, quite a bit. I bought the mainstay of the collection, which is the eyeshadow palette. It's a 9 colour this time, Les 9 Ombres. I believe it's called, I thought it was al fresco, but it's actually affresco. If you see that there, edition number 1, which suggests to me they're thinking of doing this a bit more regularly and going from the old 5s for the limited editions up to 9. So that's an interesting development. It means you're getting more shades, although fewer of it, kind of less volume in each, which doesn't bother me because I never use things up. It's a very attractive looking palette, Chanel always is, and you know, pretty much thrown the kitchen sink there. I believe this is supposed to be based on the colour schemes of the murals at Pompeii. Now I have been to Pompeii, but it's a good quarter of a century ago, so I can't say whether that's true or not. I do think this kind of rose matte in the corner there does make me think of the kind of rosy hue that I remember from Pompeii at the time. So 3 mattes down here, so matte fans will be happy, and the others are kind of shimmers or satins, I would say. This is quite difficult for me to swatch, and I want to tell you that I haven't yet tried any of these on the eyes. So there's the mattes, reasonably pigmented. I suspect that'll be nice and easy to work with, not too dense. Quite good colour pigment on the rosy colour there. And then here's the more shocking colours, and you can see immediately that those greens are stupendously well pigmented. bit flaky, that gold there, but it might work well on the eye. Really pretty bluey green there, which is a kind of theme through the collection, and the green. And then the slightly, I have to stand up here. That one isn't showing at all, the kind of light shade. Sorry about this, it's a big screen, quite difficult to show, but very densely pigmented, that brown colour down in the corner there. So an interesting palette. I'm sure I will talk more about it when I've had a chance to use it on the eyes, which I haven't so far. How much was it? I should know. I'm going to say £69. It may be a bit cheaper than that, I can't remember, but certainly around the 60, 70 mark. I should know that. I'll put it in the information box in due course. Then the other kind of big item I shelled out on is the blush. I do like the Chanel powder blushes. They're my favourite powders. This is called Fuchsia Rosa. I haven't bought a powder for quite a while, but this one was an unusual, quite densely pigmented, not shimmery, so fairly matte, not completely matte. Corally pink. There, you see, pretty well pigmented, as the blushes have tended to be since Pika has been in charge. So again, I haven't tried this. It looks as if you're going to have to go easy on the application, soft brush maybe, but I did think that was a very, very pretty spring corally pink. I missed out on the neon pink at Christmas, which was, if anything, even more shocking than this. So I thought this was a good compromise. Then regular viewers will know I am a huge fan of the eye pencils, the Stylo Yeux. I was slightly surprised to see this was one of the two colours. The other is a grey, which I did not get. This is called Mare Chiaro. Is that something to do with the sea? I'm not an Italian speaker, but I think it is. And it immediately made me think of a number of green releases that we've had from Chanel in the last year. Here's two of them, particularly Pacific Green, which is that one there, which I think was very recent indeed. And you can see them looking very, very similar. The Oasis, perhaps not so much. There was another one at Christmas as well, which I couldn't just dig out. So here's the new one, Mare Chiaro, which you can see quite a vivid green. The sales assistants were all wearing this in the boutique where I purchased, and looked very nice on most of them. And then here's Pacific Green, and you can see that it actually applies very, very differently, even though the colour on the pencil looks quite different. So you would be well justified in getting that. Let me just show you Oasis for completeness, if you had that. And that too, somewhat different. I mean, this is a real true green, so you're not going to want to go for it if you're not a fan of wearing green around the eyes, and I know some people are not, but you know, going very well with the green part of the eye palette. As I say, there's a grey Stylo Yeux, there's an Illusion d'Ombre, or whatever they're calling them now. I think they've changed the names. That's a green, a grungy green colour as well. I did swatch it. It looked to perform well on the back of the hand. That's obviously only a limited use in knowing whether it will perform well on the eyes. There are, I think, 4 lipsticks. They're all in the kind of red pink. There are 2 lip palettes, which are a new product. They're basically a duo. So there is a translucent like gloss in one side, and then I think both of them were reds, orangey reds, and they're like a powder. So it seemed to be Chanel's version of what was a trend really in 2017, it seemed to me, of these powdered lipsticks. Tom Ford did them in a palette. Dior did them in a kind of stick. They're much drier. The idea is that they stay put and stain a lot better. They didn't really work out well for me, any of them. The Chanel idea, I suppose, is a bit different because you've got this emollient kind of balm gloss that you put on underneath, which may make the powder stick better, but equally will kind of transpose it into more of a lipstick feel. So I suspect will affect the last. As I say, I'm not good with lipsticks in palettes, to be honest. I like them in a bullet or a tube, so it wasn't of interest to me. So I'm not going to be able to say whether it really is an innovative new product that's going to work or not. There was one mascara, but it's not in Le Volume. It's in their other version of mascara, which I don't get on with as well. I think that's about it, apart from the nail polishes. Now you see, I bought 3 of them. You know I'm a Chanel collector, so I tend to buy all of them. There is a 4th one, which is a bright canary yellow. Again, all the sales assistants were wearing that. I just couldn't bring myself to buy that. I do have Mimosa from quite a few years ago now, I think about 2012, 2013, which is a fairly bright yellow. I just think yellow is incredibly difficult to wear. It certainly looks rubbish on me, and I have to say it didn't look good on any of the sales assistants. They were all too pale to carry it off. But I did buy the other 3. I'm wearing this very pretty kind of turquoisey bluey green. What is this called? Sorry, I have to take it out. Verde Pastello. I pulled out Simmer Blue Greens. There's Nouvelle Vague, which is what it most reminded me of. You can see it's much greener than the bluey Nouvelle Vague. I wondered about Cocoa Blue, but again, you can see Cocoa Blue, much bluer. Then there are the kind of previous greens we've had. So there's the very famous Jade and the less famous Fraîcheur, which I think is nearer. And they're both greenier. So I haven't got exactly that shade. It's very, very pretty. Wearing one coat there, I shall apply another. Sorry about the state of my nails. After I finish this. Then there's a very pigmented pastel pink. I haven't worn it, but they showed me it on the nail in the boutique, and I'm not a great pink wearer, but it was nice and opaque, so I did get that. And then, you know, how many reds do I need? Here's yet another one. This is Arancio Vibrante, very hot and Italian. So I literally have drawers and drawers of Chanel's reds. Here are the nearest I could get on a quick look, and none of them are exactly the same. Phoenix, a lot bluer. This one is part of the permanent collection. That's Gitane, again bluer. Oddly, the nearest is the newest of them, which was the Christmas collection, Neon, which I thought on the nails looks very, very similar, because I have it on my toes at the moment. I can't push my foot up to show you, and it does look on very, very similar. But you can see in the bottle, definitely more tomatoey here. So, yeah, there we go. Yet another red for the collection. So it's a very, very vibrant, colourful collection. I am thrilled to try the eye palette, and I definitely will do another video telling you how I get on with that, because I do think that's an exciting colour scheme. But most people might find something to buy from this, although it's a very diffused collection. So not on the counters yet, in the boutiques. Generally hits the counters in the UK about a week, 10 days after the boutiques, and it was in new on Friday in the boutiques. So it's going to be mid-January that you'll start to see it trickling into the shops, I believe. I'm not sure about the website because I don't usually purchase from there. So great to be back. Happy New Year, and I'll speak to you all again very soon, I promise. Bye for now.